Good morning, dear students. Dear students, in the previous class we are already learnt about the rip and winkle. So let us learn about the continuous part of this lesson, rip and winkle. On walking up, he found that he was at the place where he had first met the old man. He rubbed his eyes. It was a bright sunny morning. Surely I have not slept here all night, thought Rip. He looked around for Woof, but he was now here. Rip whistled for him. Woof, woof. He then shouted, "No dog has to be seen. Where has this dog gone?" he muttered to himself. He began to descend the mountain to go back to his village. As he muttered the village, he met a number of people, but he did not know any of them. The villagers also stared at him, equally surprised. "Who is this man?" said one. "I will never see him before," said another. "Look at his long white beard and his wrinkled face." On hearing this, Rip stroked his chin and to his astonishment, he found his beard had grown a foot long and it was also white. An old woman walked up to him and looked at his face for a moment. Then she exclaimed, "It is Rip and Winkle. Welcome home again, old neighbor. Where have you been these 20 long years?" So this lesson is adopted from the Legend of the Rip and Winkle by Washington Irving. So here students, and here some new words are there. So write it means. First one is rubbed, which means subject to friction clean. Subject to friction or clean. Second word, muttered. Which means speak in low voice. Third word is descent, which means to move down. Right. Fourth word is stroked, which means blow, and a touch in. Touching masterly, touching masterly efforts. The fifth one is astonishment, which means surprise. Surprise or wonder. Or amazement. So here students, some more new words and its meaning is there. First word is rub, which means friction, subject to friction or clean. And second word is muttered, which means speak in a low voice. And the third one word is descent, to move down. And fourth is stroked, which means blow or to touch in a mastery effort. And fifth one is astonishment, which means surprise, wonder and amazement. So here students, in last class we discussed about here Ripvan has he was thirsty and he drank a few more glasses and slowly fell into a deep sleep. On walking up, what happened here student? He found that he was at the place where he had first met the old man. So while he was walking up, he found that that is the place where he had first met the old man. He rubbed his eyes. It was bright sunny morning. By rubbing his eyes, he saw it was the bright sunny morning. Surely I have not spent here all night, thought Trip. So here Rip thought that he was not split there all night. He looked around for Oof, but he was now here. Rip whistled for him, Oof, Oof. So here Rip whistled to Oof, called to him, Oof, Oof. Then and he was shouted, but no dog was to be seen. Where has this dog gone? He muttered to himself. He whispered like whispered himself. He began to descend the mountain to go back to his village. So that's why he moved down from the mountain and go back to his village. But after what happened here, as he neared the village, he met a number of people, but he did not know any of them. So when he reached to his village, when he was nearest to his village, he met a number of people, but he did not know anyone of them. The villager also stared at him and equally surprised. The people of that village has equally stared. They are stared to him equally and they become surprised. Who is this man? Said one. One person has said, who is this man? And I will never see him before, said another. So another has answered, I will never see him before. Look at his long white beard and his wrinkled face. So another said, look his long beard, long white beard and his wrinkled face. So by hearing this, Rip stroked him his chin and to his astonishment. So by listening to the words of their, he stroked his chin and to this by finding that his beard has longed and grown a foot long and it was all white. He was very astonishment. He was very surprised. An old woman walked up to him and looked at his face for a moment. So after that, old woman walked up to him and looked his face for a moment. Then she exclaimed. Then she realized that it is a Rip and Winkle. So other neighbors has said, welcome home again. Where have you been these 20 long years? So other neighbors, old neighbors has welcomed here to welcome home again by saying that where have you been? See, have you been these 20 long years? They are constant to Rip and Winkle. So this story is adopted from the legend of the Rip and Winkle by Washington Irving. So dear students, this chapter has ended today. So that's all for today's class. Thank you.